I think the Ridonculous Race is pretty rad. If you couldn't tell already from my recent video on the Ridonculous Race cast, I'm on a little bit of a Ridonculous Race kick right now, but it is true. It was an awesome spin-off of the show as it was something so different from the original Total Drama series, but there's just one particular thing about it that hurts it a little bit, and that's Brody and Geoff returning. After some bus station burritos did their damage on the Surfer Bros, they've placed in 6th, and then in their elimination episode, that late finish led to them not being grouped together with the most evil people in the cast, thus making them and their group compete for last. In the end, Geoff and Brody let Carrie and Devin go ahead of them because they found the Dawn Box and they believed in this alliance between the teams, and in the end, they were eliminated from the competition. Now, I love the Surfer Bros, and to me, this seemed like a perfect ending to their story. They were good guys who just wanted to have a ton of fun, and in the end, they sacrificed themselves for another team that helped them out. There was really no need for anything else beyond this, and I'm really curious as to why any of this even happened in the first place. But as is in the Total Drama universe, just because you're eliminated doesn't mean you can't not come back. In Last Tango in Buenos Aires, Kitty pretty much almost kills Devin, and because of this, Devin and Carrie have to be eliminated from the race. Carrie and Devin were then given the option to choose any previously eliminated team to come back into the race to take their place, and they ended up choosing the Surfer Bros because of their friendly deed from a couple episodes before. And that reasoning does make a lot of sense, but what doesn't make a lot of sense is why any of this even happened in the first place. If they were going to be eliminated just to come back a couple of episodes later with only 2 episodes left in the season, which was basically just the finale, what was the point in them even being eliminated in the first place? I'm really curious as to what led the writing team to make this decision, as this was all just so unnecessary. Maybe there is an actual answer out there somewhere, but either way, what I wanted to do in this video is to see what would have happened if none of this happened at all, and Geoff and Brody stayed eliminated. And that's going to take us back to that moment where Devin gets severely injured after getting shoved off a cliff. For the sake of there needing to be 4 teams heading into the next episode after this, and that there shouldn't be anybody returning at all, we're just going to say no severe injuries were sustained, and thus, Devin and Carrie are still in the race at this point. So that leaves us with the best friends, the sisters, the ice dancers, and the police cadets in the final 4. The next episode is when they get to the Bahamas, and the first challenge is looking in the museum for a map with the Ridonculous Race logo on it. By this point, the best friends would be in love and dating, so who knows exactly how much that could potentially throw things off with them, or if they'd actually just be way more comfortable with each other. And I would assume the latter, since they always seem to be a little on edge until they finally confess their feelings for each other. So I think that actually started doing quite well at this point, and I think they do quite well in this challenge in particular. Things pretty much go the same way until the next challenge, which is where they all just swim through the underwater tunnels and collect the bag of gold doubloons. It's pretty much random which person in the team had to go swim, so for the sake of randomness, I'll just say that it was Carrie that was doing the swimming. I see Carrie doing fairly well at this, although probably not as good or as fast as Brody. Still, considering all the problems that every other team was facing at this point during this challenge, I would say Devin and Carrie managed to finish this first. And then, in the end, moving on to the finale in New York City would be the best friends, the ice dancers, and the police cadets. Now, this finale portion is where things get a little complicated just because with all the interference in the driving and the traffic and whatnot, it's tough to predict how things would have gone exactly. It's also tough to not think of the best friends just doing exactly what the Surfer Bros did, because they're also pretty much just the only level-headed team here when things present themselves in front of them, such as when they are involved in the car crash and then right in front of them is the subway entrance. The only major difference I see here though is the fact that Carrie and Devin would probably not be as fast as the Surfer Bros heading up all those flights of stairs. The police cadets and ice dancers definitely had the speed on foot advantage here, and I think would have been able to catch up to the best friends despite their earlier arrival thanks to the subway. By the time they'd get to the midway checkpoint, I personally think it would be the ice dancers and police cadets in the final 2, with the best friends / new daters finishing in 3rd. Obviously, this means that the ice dancers would become winners in some versions of the show, and, that'd be a lot better than finishing in 3rd, as they did previously. And in my opinion, the rivalry between the ice dancers and police cadets was so great that it should have been settled in the final 2 this way. And I know that narratively it's satisfying for Jose and Jacques to get some comeuppance, and then it makes sense for it to be MacArthur and Sanders of all people to beat them out for the second place spot, but considering how much each team had gone through with each other, and considering the total drama hasn't been shy to award a villain as winner before, such as in World Tour or All-Stars, I don't think there's really a huge issue with the Ice Dancers potentially finishing as winners in some versions of the show. But I do think in the end the Police Cadets would probably be the more popular winners and Ice Dancers would be the second majority of the time, and I think Brody and Geoff ended up winning in more versions, which seems a little silly to me, but yeah. Basically, what I think would have happened had Geoff and Brody just stayed eliminated as they should have been, would be the Best Friends finishing in third, the Ice Dancers finishing in second, and the Police Cadets finishing in first place. So really only a few small tweaks from what actually happened in the show, but to me, this just seems like a much better ending to the season. There's no cheap return right before the finale or anything like that, and pretty much everything between the top 3 teams would be wrapped up nicely narratively wise. And you could even still have Brody and MacArthur reunite in the finale after it's all over, and I don't think the Surfer Bros winning should depend on that even happening either. But anyways, I think that's what would have happened had Devin not died and the Best Friends remained in the race. But what do you think? Do you think things would have drastically changed, or would things remain pretty similar with only a few tweaks? Let me know down below what you think of my thoughts on the matter and what you think would have happened if this all just never occurred. Also, let me know down below what else you'd like to see me talk about on this channel. Like the video, subscribe for more videos, and yeah, thank you for watching.